According to National Organizations for Youth Safety, passenger vehicles occupants over age 4 seatbelts saved an estimate of 13,250 lives in 2008. They saw if all passenger vehicles occupants over the age of 4 had worn their seatbelt, that they could have saved 17,402 people total. So about roughly another 4,000 people. So when I first heard that, first thing I thought was, that's total bullshit. How the hell could you come up with that number? It makes no sense to me. I mean, another 4,000 people, if they had worn their seatbelts, they could have said any number, and you would just have to be like, wow, damn, if someone would have worn their seatbelts, they could have saved another 6,000 people. I feel like they just grab people who are, in all honesty, weak-minded, and they won't actually think for themselves, and you just take statistics and say that must be true because someone said it on some organization said it. It's completely stupid. So, what I'm getting at is we shouldn't have to wear seatbelts as a law. It's just stupid. It should be a personal decision. If you want to wear a seatbelt, go ahead. If you think it's going to help you, be my guest. You shouldn't have to, though. Like, I shouldn't be able to get pulled over and say, here's a $120 ticket. You want to wear your seatbelt. So, with that said, with the number of car accidents related to wearing your seatbelt and not wearing your seatbelt, to me, I feel like it's pretty damn close. And I have some backup for that. In 2010, the statistics show that 51% of the people killed in those accidents were not using their restraints. So 1% more than completely split in the middle said that that they died in the crash, as opposed to the other 49% that didn't because they were wearing a seatbelt. And I got that from Edgar Snyder. He was a car analyst statistics. He does like different cases and stuff. He is an accountant, not an accountant, not a lawyer. Like, I don't know what it's called, but it's one of those mixes where you're a lawyer, you're an accountant. He's pretty much working all law. He's a major in law. He has his law degree and such. Anyway, so when I think about it, the main thing when you think about seatbelts and car accidents and such, it shouldn't necessarily be that you should wear your seatbelt so that you don't die in a car accident. You should get in less damn car accidents. In 2010, 32,885 there were fatal car accidents, not just car accidents in general, but car accidents in 2010. People died in, and that was in the United States alone. 33,000 people. So, and that was fatal. And that's not saying how many were wearing the seatbelts and how many weren't. Just general, people crashed and died. So with that said, a personal story. My mother's best friend. My mom still wears her ankle bracelet today. Her best friend was in a car accident when they were 17. My mom and two other friends, Jason and Jeremiah, their brothers, and then the girl, Jessica, were driving down the road in St. Cloud on the back streets. And they were coming down the road, and Jason was driving, Jeremiah and Jessica were in the back seat, and my mother was in the front seat. And none of them wore the seatbelts, besides Jessica. She was the only one who wore it. And when they crashed, well, the way they crashed was they came around the corner too quickly, and Jason lost control of this. I want to say it was might have been an Accord, just a general compact car, a little car. And he lost control, and when he came around, he sideswept against a tree. And my mother was thrown out of the car, and she had a few cuts and scratches, and that was it. She had not really any damage. Jason was thrown through the front windshield, and was okay. And his brother Jeremiah in the back with Jessica he was stuck he didn't get thrown out, but his arm went through the window, which agreed, if he would have not put his arm up and his head would have went through the window, he probably would have had some kind of damage. But either way, his arm went through the window, but he opened the door as they were crashing, and he rolled out. But what happened was when they came on the side and crashed, it hit in the middle, right between the two doors. So my mom wouldn't be able to open her door, but she got thrown out anyway, so she was able to get out. But Jessica, when she had her seatbelt on, the door came in from the side, and the way it hit, it came out through the middle, and something from the roof like came down and pinned directly on the seatbelt, and the car caught on fire, and Jessica burned alive in the car. And if she wasn't wearing a seatbelt, she I mean, it's not like saying if she wasn't wearing a seatbelt, 100% she wouldn't have died, but I feel like she would have had a better chance. And that right there, to me, is a good enough reason to show that if you don't have your seatbelts on, you have just as much chance of dying or living in a car accident or not. It shouldn't be a law to wear your seatbelt. It should be simply you make the choice to wear a seatbelt or not. And like I said, 51% of people who don't wear their seatbelts die, 49% do. Come on. Does it really matter if you're wearing a seatbelt or not? Try not to get in car accidents. Drive safer. Don't drive in conditions you know you can't. Like, if he didn't whip around the corner, then he never would have in a car accident. But, with that said, all we really need to do is work on our driving, and I just think the seatbelt law itself is ridiculous, and it's just a way for the government to meet their quota tickets, their like to get more money from individuals, the citizens themselves, through court costs, ticket costs, the taking up their time, etc. So, drive safer.